Gambian talent.
Assalamu alaikum badingolo nal badi man dron Fatou Diallo Mambale National Assembly bi nak be dunna kono to dron sub committee wolle be kering bita committee to nga jibe munebe kering ji ani munebe la tabulo ka woto dron na lafta kibaro soto la ñin sub committee la sioto bi dron albula Gambia Talent TV no man ta Fatou Diallo Mambana felale live and direct ani na camera umano men keta Binta Jaiti ala baraka bak al nga dun kono to National Assembly nga jibe munebe ji
those that are not in favor say no. The ayes have it.
If you are comfortable with the English,
thank you very much, our guest. May I ask? May I ask whether you are comfortable with English or we can also adopt local language?
I think we have followed the local language so that some of us can understand.
Okay, but before we introduction.
yes,
Before we go into the issue, we'll start with the introduction. Starting with myself, I'm Honorable Mohammed Kante, member for Busumbala constituency and member of this committee, stepping in for the chair of this post.
Member of this committee, member representing by
I am Honorable Yahya Sanya, Latikunda constituency. Karushala, SNS to the committee.
Mr. Basilio, I'm the secretary to the World War II.
Alpha Usman Jalo. I'm the public relations officer of the World War II Veterans Family Association.
I am Babun Jai, chairman for the World War II Family.
so we can all speak and understand.
Understand.
What I want to say is, I think everybody can speak English.
English.
So I think we can continue.
Introducing yourself and speaking English.
No, what we
Understand.
when we are speaking here, everybody will understand it.
Is it?
Because what we don't also want to violate is our standing
Yes,
order.
what we can, because according to our standing order,
Yeah.
the working language of the parliament is
Exactly.
English. Unless a bill is enacted and a law is enacted for us to add another language, but notwithstanding, we can accommodate
Yeah.
and speak as much and explain as much as possible. But for it to be on record, because everything we say here is stated as it is.
Yeah.
So please, if we are appealing to you, we understand. But we will have to.
It's okay.
Okay, if you don't understand, because you don't, I mean,
I can understand.
Good.
if you don't
Good.
understand anything, we can explain.
And you.
Okay, if you want to speak,
Yeah.
then for you,
Yeah.
we will give an exception. If you cannot express yourself,
Yeah,
we
you
allow
can-
you to speak in Wolof
Yeah.
or any language that you are comfortable with.
Yeah.
But for us, we must.
And also, Honorable Chair, are they all speaking or they have specified people?
They must have
on their behalf?
specified. They have their PRO.
But
Let's.
if they want to put in something, we cannot stop them from speaking. So I think we can.
Yes, but as far as the PRO is here,
Yes, exactly.
he can speak on behalf of
Because my friend,
Okay,
you want to be speaking
okay.
the same thing. Okay.
Okay, let's go into the issue now. We are in receipt of a letter from your association, World War II Veterans Families Association, requesting an audience from this committee on matters regarding the affairs of your association. So we will, of course, listen to you first and foremost before we make our, add our voice on your issues, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So hence you have your president within your midst and you have your spokespersons. You can decide who is going to forward your case, make a presentation of your case before us. Thank you.
I may say something, but then leave out something important, since this is the dialogue, so that if others have an input into it, you allow it, because this is of national interest. Yes.
Then in that respect, anybody who is making a statement should be free, because we are also working timeline.
Okay.
Okay, I think this session is allocated to you as a committee, and we are sitting from 10 to 12:30. So I think as a committee, if you want to speak, we cannot say you cannot speak, only the PRO will speak. So if you want to speak, you can ask the chair for the floor, and then obviously, because we are here to listen to you. And like you said, this is a National Assembly, it's for everybody. We have to go down to a level or to go up to any level. If you want to be informal, then so be it. We have to be informal with you. We cannot just change the language that we use, but as a National Assembly, we have to work with the people, because we are here for the people.
Thank you. So I might use the letter that we had written, which is a summary of and a true representation of what we are here for. So if you want, you can have the opportunity to at least, just so that I can take you to Honorable Chairman. You can also just follow up in case. So I would start by saying the World War II Veterans Family Association is a legally registered non-profit organization whose membership comprises of World War II veterans and their families living in the Gambia, and that's us. Okay. The association is established to raise awareness on the legacy and plight of World War II veterans, and to advocate for fair compensation and reparations to World War II veterans and their families. This is our purpose of establishing our association. Now, in the case of the Gambia, there is very little transparency in the allocations and distribution of the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Service League and Welfare Grant. The British government and its citizens committed about £1.8 million over the years to support World War II veterans and their families, especially widows, in 48 countries across the world, including the Gambia. However, the World War II Veterans Family Association has discovered that the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Service League, together with the Gambia Legion, who are charged with managing these funds, failed in reaching out to the eligible beneficiaries, as highlighted by the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Service League. That is, who are these eligible beneficiaries? They are veterans who served the British Crown prior to their country gaining independence, or one surviving eligible widow after the veteran has deceased and who are living in poverty. So basically,
you name two categories, the beneficiaries to this particular grant.
Yeah.
Number one, they are the veteran himself.
Yeah.
Number two, The surviving widow of the veteran.
Exactly.
The surviving widow
Yeah.
of the veteran.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Those are the two.
So those are the two, and that is the criteria for benefiting from the fund. And this is prescribed. This criteria is prescribed by the British. Okay. Whether that should be, but that is, as far as their fund is concerned, these are supposed to be the beneficiaries. Right. So we go. However, it is important to highlight that the majority of veterans from the Gambia, who are all deceased now, all of them are dead, who are all deceased now, did not know that any such grant exists and had never benefited from it. The majority.
Majority or all of them?
No, there was a few minority who were selected and were benefited. The few remaining widows, now we have few of these old, widows, okay, are still alive and are left languishing in poverty and misery. And some of them are our grandmothers and our distinct. They still, you find them in Bakau, in some of the countryside, in Palangar, out there. They've never benefited. And they are languishing in poverty. Since the advent of this association, efforts have been made to have an audience with the British High Commission to discuss issues relating to the World War II veterans of the Gambia. Their response towards the concerns we raised was that the World War II Veterans Family Association should get in touch with the Gambia Legion in order for casework and verification to take place. This is in quote, open quote, that we should.
Who are the legions?
The Gambia Legion.
They are also veterans.
We can. Yeah. Let us explain.
Let's just finish. You will do the
Okay.
introduction and then
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah, exactly. Then we will help highlight and clarify certain things. Okay. To take place. Okay. The president of the Gambia Legion, he's of late now. He was Alhaji ex-Sergeant Yeroketa. Okay. In solidarity with the World War II Veterans Family Association, that is our association, has on several occasions requested the British High Commission and the Veterans Affairs Office to intervene with regards to this lack of, eligible beneficiaries benefiting, but to no avail. So he was the chair of the Gambia Legion, that is Alhaji Sergeant Yeroketa. So he had worked with us and written letters, and some of us have conveyed those letters, to the British Embassy, but to no avail. We have also sent several requests and communique to the Secretary of the Welfare Grant and managers of the fund, who are the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Service League reps here, okay, in the Gambia. But we will explain what is the world, British government, then who are this Royal Commonwealth Ex-Service League, who are the Gambia Legion, and so on. We'll come to that if need be. But then these welfare grant managers, the grant that the British government is giving, those who are managing it, they constantly refused to cooperate with us. All possible efforts to use diplomatic channels, we have tried. The association have written several letters seeking audience with His Excellency the President. Okay? And were referred to the Minister of Defense, which houses the Veterans Affairs Office. There is a Veterans Affairs Office at the Ministry of Defense. Okay? The minister had accorded us a meeting with his staff. That was during the time of Fine. He accorded us a meeting with the PS and so on. Okay? with his staff. But efforts to bring the affected parties to meet and discuss is still not possible. Who are the affected? That is the welfare grant managers and the World War II veterans. Because we are claiming there is mismanagement and there is no transparency in the fund, and many eligible beneficiaries who are our fathers, our mothers, and our uncles have not benefited. They don't even know the fund exists. So we said, come, tell us, what are you doing with the fund? What have you done with the fund all these years? Okay, so, but we tried. We met with the minister, with the Ministry of Defense, to no avail. We even met with the Army, Gambia Armed Forces, with CDS and all. Right. The association has now decided to write and request audience with the National Assembly Select Committee for Human Rights of the Republic of the Gambia, with the hope that necessary action will be taken to address and regularize this decades-long anomaly. It's decades. How many years since World War II? Over 70-something years, man. 78 years. So, over this decades-long anomaly that has deprived World War II veterans due benefits and reparations as deserving members of the British Legion and Royal West Africa Frontier Force during World War II. We are prepared and ready to meet and discuss with you, the honorable members of the National Assembly here, and fortunately, that is the occasion that we have now. But we will tell you that we have written almost 4 requests to this August National Assembly. Since 2022 or 21. And every time we would follow up, and we did not have
the copies of the clerk.
Yes.
Or you
we have copies of those even letters.
We have copies of those letters. But this one is addressed to the chair.
Somewhere addressed to the chair, maybe somewhere addressed to the. I think there was a letter addressed to the clerk of the National Assembly.
No.
Now we have interacted with them.
No. We need all those evidence. Yeah, we need them. This is very serious. Yes. Because this one, we need to know, because this one was dated 18th of January, addressed to the chair of the committee.
6th July.
This one was dated 6th of July 2021,
to the clerk.
Addressed to the office of the clerk. This one, 2021, addressed to the office of the clerk.
These were follow-ups, even reminders.
And this one also addressed to the office of the clerk. So what we need, can we keep these? Okay, what we can ask, photocopy we don't have it. If you can send it to us, because we need evidences of all this, to ask why. We can't say what we are going to do now because we don't know what the letter entails. But if the letter was addressed to the clerk for the attention of the committee, then the clerk should have sent it to the committee. This one, they did not have any option because it was addressed to the chair of the committee. So it was given to the chair of the committee. So we need to look at this letter and see what it entails, whether it was for the committee or only for the attention of the clerk. Because letters can be sent to the clerk, for the clerk, and then the clerk does not have any obligation to give it to the committee. So if you allow me, Mr. Chair, to go through the letters before.
I think we are sufficiently briefed by the clerk, right here, said they have previously received the communication from you, but due to time schedule, National Assembly also, we are on recess and also on sessions, they were able to bring to the attention of the committee. But now that we are approaching another session, so they decided that hence this one came. They inform us so that we can receive feedback. So these are administrative. We'll have issues to discuss that.
No, Mr. Chair. I think they have every right to know. This letter was dated 6th of July. Can I have the floor, please, Mr. Chair? Okay. This was dated 6th of July 2021, and the letter stated we have decided to contact the relevant select committee of the National Assembly. So they did not mention any committee, probably, but the clerk should have given it to attention of the plenary for the plenary to decide which committee in that case. So I think this matter needs to be taken further. We need to investigate why this letter. No, it's administrative. But it says the letter of the clerk. It's administrative, we understand, but we are representing the people here. And if they have any grievances and it is not dealt with, we are in 2024. This is 4 years ago. A person could have died needing support, and we are keeping this and not doing anything about it. These are our grandparents.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know, we want the situation to understand that the Committee of Defense, the Committee of Human Rights and Constitutional Matters, is duly notified by this recent one. The other one is been addressed to the clerk and is purely administrative. It has been brought to the attention of the committee. So now that it is before us, that's why we deem it necessary to invite you people and have a dialogue over this. Yeah.
Can I?
The other one, we have the evidence, and we'll do that.
What I'm saying also, we went on recess, like the clerk said, recess was August. This letter was sent since January, and it was received, stamped on the 3rd. No, hang on. It was sent, it was dated January 2024. And it was stamped January, February, March 21st, 2024.
Stamping it administratively. I'm speaking to it. Let me help you guys. When a letter is sent, when we send a letter to the institution, the stamp by the administration is the date that particular letter is received. Let's make that point clear. You wrote
21st,
The 10th of January.
21st of the 3rd, it says here.
Yes.
So I think, anyway, that is for us to deal with, because this is very important matter. So what we will do, let us listen to them, and their grievances, we will take because we will request for a commission of inquiry on this, because these veterans, they need to be taken care of, and we will ascertain when the money was given, when these veterans died, how much they should have been entitled before they died, and if their spouses or other beneficiaries are still alive, because these are resources that needed to go to these veterans, and if they did not go, we must do something and find out. So can you tell us exactly?
Still.
Let me. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm not yet ready.
Okay, let's put this.
Yes. I'm saying this is not going to be a blame game, because we really know that you people are committed, and we know that it hasn't gotten to you. That was why we were following up, and we were concerned that it gets to the select committee. There is nothing you can do if you don't receive this, but it is worth knowing, because similarly, maybe other things may be pending which might not reach to you. So it will be important information that you will take and see how to resolve that. Okay, at your own level. Don't mind. We are not really feeling bad about you or blaming anyone. So this is the, but from 2021 to date, several of our World War II veterans who were alive, the last person died sometime, is it 2 years back or last year? Last year, of Ibu Jangha of Prikama. If action had been taken before, surely, some of them would have benefited, or in fact, almost 8 of them had passed away. Now they are old, and their widows also are passing away. So you would see that this is very urgent, because some of them are sick in bed and waiting to die, whilst we are here, some bureaucratic, I'm not saying the National Assembly, I mean from the start, we wrote to His Excellency. Okay, so here we are, but really, that is it. Now, it is important to highlight here that those of us here are sons and daughters and grandchildren of these World War II veterans. That is why we deemed it necessary to form this association so that we can also like the objectives that we have highlighted here. Now, it is important to understand that these World War II veterans, when they were recruited in the Gambia, there are claims that some voluntarily they this thing, but some were forcefully recruited, and that is a very important thing to note. The chiefs and others were used, just like slaves were, conscripted. Okay, these also were conscripted. Now, the British government knows that they have this responsibility. So they belong to a force called the Royal Commonwealth Frontier, the Royal West Africa Frontier Force. It was this Royal West Africa Frontier Force that these World War II veterans were enlisted. Then they were taken to Burma. Many of them went and died. Those that remained. Up till now, we have requested, we have not come across any register. In the archives, we have worked with Hausum Sise, with the National Council for Art and Culture, just to be able to get, a listing of who were actually those who went to war. How many came back? How many died? Other countries have done that. Those who died, where have they been distinct? You have this World War Cemetery in Fajara. So people think that is where our World War II veterans who died are buried. It is not. Those people are somewhere in India, somewhere in this thing, and no one knows. But other countries have sent people to discover and then to get their remains and bring them back. But for the government of the Gambia, we don't even know. Some think it's the Fajara War Cemetery that they are. No, nobody is there. Those are just monuments that are there to this thing. So where are our fathers the remains of our fathers who went? How many of them died? How many of them came back? There are records with the British Museum, but also we suspect, okay, with the Veterans Affairs Office, which is, under the Ministry of Defense. But we wrote and we asked. No, that is one thing that we need to understand. Then the British, they felt that there is a grant that they distribute not only for the Gambia, but for Commonwealth countries. Now it is this grant that we are talking about. The British did not just come and give it to the Gambia Legion. What they did is, they used the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Service League, their main office in Dakar. But they also, I believe, have an office in Ghana, because those they represent. But for Gambia, we deal with the office in Dakar. So the British Embassy is not going to manage this fund. It's a British grant. So they passed it on to the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Service League. So the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Service League, okay, they looked for a British citizen whom they can trust and work with, so that person will be their focal person here to help, you understand, manage the fund in the Gambia. And that person was a lady who had worked in the British Embassy for several years in the Gambia here. So we have her name and contacts, everything. And maybe she's even still in the Gambia. So they assigned her. Then they also choose a representative from the Gambia Legion. Because the Gambia Legion is an ex-service also association of ex-servicemen some who went to war, or those who were recruited, but before they went to war, it ended. So they were on standby. But all those are eligible to this fund, whether you had actually gone to the war, but as long as you were a member of the Royal West Africa Frontier Force, not this depot we see here, the field force in this thing, but at that time, then you are eligible to this grant. Now, it's those people who form the Gambia Legion, just like you have the British Legion of those World War veterans. So that is the Gambia Legion. Now, a representative of the Gambian Legion, who is Pafal of Bakau, who was serving as the secretary of the Gambia Legion, because most of these World War II veterans were illiterate. So they had to look for someone, a young person, maybe from amongst their children and so on, to serve as their secretary and help them. So it was one Pafal of Bakau. First, it was Sam Silla, Colonel Sam Silla. After that, it was another something Jai of Banjul here. Then after that, it was again another this thing. Then eventually, all those, they served as secretaries and they were managing the fund. Then it came, Pafal came. Since then, okay, when we tried to trace the beneficiaries of this fund, it was one day, our chairman was just sitting and he heard over radio on QTV that all those who, I don't know, World War II veterans, if he can come in, maybe I can leave him to bring that bit. Okay?
Yes, just to start from where you end. There was one time I heard over the radio public notice. They were saying that the veterans who have been to the war, their funds are available. They give a number. So I was able to pick the number and it was Pafal. When I called Pafal, he asked me whether your father have been to the World War. I said yes. He said, is he still alive? I said yes, he's alive. He's in Balangar. So that's the time he told me that they will go to Balangar one day. But he just picked my number. He told me whenever we go there, I will call you. So I called my father to put them in the picture. That when this man comes there, before you do anything, just call me, let me know. But he was very old, he was about 111 years around at that time. So when Pafal went there, he was just there to do some assessment. He did not even go there with money, but he went there to do some assessment, according to my brother. When he left, he told me that the man came, but he asked the dad about his papers, his documents. So my father gave him the documents, he took the document, the particulars, and then he came back. The next week, after 2 weeks, he went there again and then gave him $15,000. Yes, $15,000. So when I called my father, my brother was there, I asked him, when he gave you this $15,000, did he give you anything to sign? My brother said, no, he did not give us anything to sign. But he just gave my father $15,000.
Who was that person?
Pafal. So when that happened,
From the Legion.
Yeah.
yes, when that happened, I made some efforts. One day I had with the QTV, they were saying about this celebration. I called on that program. I told them that these people are doing this
Remembrance
Day at the Makati Square. When most of these people who have been to the war are lying in their beds, they don't know nothing about this celebration. So that's the time the man asked me whether I have anybody who have been to the World War. I told him that my father has gone to the World War and he's still alive. And he's in Balangar. But this celebration is happening in Banyu, but they don't know nothing about it. So that's the time the man came to my house and then do some interview, QTV. So that's where I started this process of having this association. I gave my number to the man. I said, let me have all the family members so that we can form an association and then fight this cause.
When was it formed?
In 2020, 2019 November. That's the time we started the formation of this association. So I want to also buy the idea of this lady, what you were saying. I know that you have already addressed it, but we have been suffering for this issue for the past almost 3-4 years. We are knocking all doors, but we could not have any solution on this. That's why even when we applied through this National Assembly, we went up to a time that we were all discouraged because for almost 3 years, you are requesting for audience with your own National Assembly members. You cannot get it. Definitely, it was so frustrating. It was so frustrating. Even the day before yesterday, when this man said that these people called and then they asked us to go and answer to them, it was a surprise to us. Because we have been calling, they have been calling for us, other areas. Sometimes we come up to Banjul, they say that the meeting is cancelled.
For the National Assembly?
No, not for the National Assembly, but for the ministry.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Just to make things short, this is how we come up with these associations.
So anyway, to conclude now, once it was from there that we formed this association. Then we did a research. We wrote to all the governors, to all the chiefs and alcaldes. We sent this to the governors to do research and find out who are World War II veterans who are alive, because apparently this grant has been given to ineligible people for how many years? Since 1948?
When did Gambia
45.
Did Gambia receive 1.8 million pounds, or was it for all?
No, it was for all the 48 Commonwealth countries. It is given yearly. So this is at the point of this thing. But when COVID came, a certain grant was released for the Gambia. And that was when, they went on the media and started calling. So I am saying it is from there that we went out and we discovered that in Balangar alone, about 35 veterans went to war. Some died there. One of our members, his uncle died. They were two brothers, his father and his uncle. They went, one came, one died there. I am telling you, all those, none of them had ever benefited, and they did not even know that such a fund exists. And their widows who are there, have never known PAFAL, have never known there was a grant, have never benefited. We went to Woolly. We defined countrywide. Then we extended the association and formed branches in Basse. Then we formed branches in Nyomi. Then all these veterans' families, they came together and we had our WhatsApp groups, and then we had a register of those that we can discover. So then we followed up with the Veterans Affairs Office and the CDS, so that because there were claims that list of Gambians who went to war and came back were with the National Army, because it was the military who were managing the fund. You understand? And they had a list of all World War II veterans who went to war. So we followed up till today. That is the plight. So there were almost about 8 to 10 veterans who were alive. All of them during this process of our follow-up until today, all of them passed away. But what we did, we went and made sure that they were accorded the rightful burial, which was honorable burial. So we would call the army and tell them, these are veterans, you have to accord them this thing, and then they would come. The army also complied. They came, and then these were given honorable this thing. That is where we are for now.
Honorable Chairperson, thank you very much. And the World War II Veterans Family Association, thank you very much for your commitment to the plight of your late parents. As we are talking, I just figure a few legal issues. Number one, the names of all the World War II veterans, you need to get those names. Because otherwise, anybody can come and say, my father went, when the father did not actually go. And payment cannot be done on that kind of speculation. First of all, you guys need to establish the names of all the people who went or who are eligible to this particular fund. That needs to be established. If you don't establish that, it's going to be very, very difficult for us. Well, I'm sure National Assembly can ask for those names and they'll be submitted, because you can ask for any other thing, any other document from the government. Number one. Number two, all of you here wanted to act on the estate of deceased persons. There are also legal procedures to that. You cannot just act on the estate of a deceased person without a will making you a beneficiary to that estate. And this, exactly. So it's going to be very complicated. Right now, none of you can show me a will that your father lived that you should benefit from this fund. So that's legally also, that's going to make it very complicated.
Are you assuming that none of us can? You should ask first,
I
honorable.
say, I didn't say
You can ask.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you legally.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
all have the same interest.
Yeah,
in
but
helping you people.
apparently you are insinuating that currently none of us can do that.
Okay, you are going to help us to get those things because I want to work. I want to make our work easy for us. That's what. Let me go to number 3.
Let me continue.
Yeah.
It is important that you give us this very useful information.
Yes.
And what we will do now, there are interested parties that you made mention of, and those parties also should be heard. The committee will work with the secretary to make sure that we invited that persons and also the institutions you refer to, so that we can obtain additional important information. Then we'll get back to you people. There and then we will be able to look forward on this issue. But otherwise, because he is taking it from a legal point of view, I can understand. But then this is a form organization that has been registered, And when I listen to your, in your speech, you did mention of the persons that are eligible to benefit from this. That is the disease or the
That was going to be my last intervention. Why?
The one that have actually taken part, and also the widow. All right. Should in case none of you are widows here, let's say, none of you have personally taken part in the World War II, but your parents, you can act on behalf of your parents, but subject to a specific instruction or legal issues. But one can understand that you have taken that lead by registering it officially.
This is a legal entity.
Yes. So there will be a further discussion on that.
Let's be very clear here.
No.
Let me just help.
We cannot be
dealing with something.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that registering an organization on behalf of a legal, on behalf of a deceased parent is a legal instrument to act on behalf of that deceased parent. Let's be very clear so that we help them to give us all those documents so that we are going to help your cause, to advance your cause. So this mere registration, exactly, is good.
Yeah,
but that is not a good legal instrument to act on behalf of your deceased father. So now if you guys have wills and all those of them, help us with those things. I'm going to one of, if, I don't know whether you have already done a parliamentary question. Maybe he served in the defense committee. You can go a parliamentary question to ask the minister to bring us the list of all the World War II. Please.
Can I?
Yes.
I don't think, okay, thank you very much. You are talking as a lawyer, but I think they are fortunate today because they have legal-minded people here today. So, what I'm saying is that they are not acting on behalf of an individual person. They are making inquiries. And based on their registration, this is for Veterans Association. They are not saying that Fatma Tanjai was a veteran. I'm going to request for his or her payment. No. No, please.
Which letter? We are not asking that these reparations be given to us.
No, please.
Let that be very clear. No, you misunderstand.
We are
You think I'm angry? Yeah. People accuse you of being angry because of, some of us, we talk, this is the way we talk. It doesn't mean we are angry. Even you, people accuse you of that. Don't see it as if I'm angry. So,
I just want to understand.
What I'm saying is that they have given their submission. This is not even the time to debate it. We have taken the information. So for us now, what we are going to do, we have taken what you have told us. We have all the information. We will need to talk, we will need to sit with the Legion. We will need to sit with the Foreign Affairs Office. We will also need to sit with the defense. We will also need to ask questions to the British Embassy through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs because we need all this information. And then the committee will recommend the next step.
Exactly.
If we agree to do legal investigations in this, we will do that, because as we speak, we need to do a commission of inquiries in this to ascertain what was given to the Gambia, the number of veterans we have, those that are still alive, and we also need to find out whether that law applies to all veterans worldwide, in Europe or in Africa, because you cannot say only the widow and the person that went to war will benefit, because they might have dependents too.
Exactly.
So we need to look into the law and see whether it applies only to Africans or it applies, because veterans are veterans. We send our people to go and help them. So whatever they are going to benefit from, our people will also benefit from them. There are countries in French-speaking Africa that if your great-great-grandfather was a veteran, you have a right to be a French citizen.
Exactly.
So we need to look into all that. So thank you very much for coming. We are not going to debate any further. We have heard you, and then our committee will look into the matter and see how we are going to deal with it. We thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have it very, very well. These people, if you listen to their presentation, they say they have only waited so long. You understand?
No, that
My
was...
fear now is the approach you want to take is going to be, this can be involved.
What what I'm saying, it cannot be. We can sit here, we have a committee meeting now.
Okay.
We can agree, we have quorum, we can agree what to do and start the process as soon as possible. The clerk is here. The clerk should write to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs today and ask them for all these details. And then when we sit, this is going to, for the next 2 weeks, we can come up. We cannot say that we will have all the answers today, but we will kickstart the process. You sent a letter. We have an internal matter to take care of, why this letter was sent since 2021 without action being taken. And then we'll take it from there, but be rest assured that this committee will look into the details jointly with the Ministry, with the Committee for Defense.
Mr. Chairman, I have something to say. I can fully remember my stepdad passing away there. The family was visiting something, but then it was a long time. Then I was around 7 years. Since then they stopped it. Because this man died there. When I was 7,
When you were
they were yes, they were paying the family. They were paying my grandfather. Who brought up these two people, because their father passed away. When these people said my father will be going, then the brother and the uncle should have gone with my father. Then my father's brother said, no, my uncle is not going, I am going. Unfortunately, he died there. Then they were bringing something, giving it to that uncle. That's my step-grand. Just for a few years, they stopped the payment. And they were paying the family. There was nothing like will at that time. And they were paying the family.
What I don't understand
Yes.
is why will the British parliamentarians start and say we are paying only the veteran himself and the surviving widow? Surviving widow here legally means if the widow is alive.
Yes, I know.
That's the interpretation for that. If the widow is alive, by the time they were paid, maybe the widow was alive.
There was no widow with that man. Even when he was a young man.
Okay, that's a very good information.
And he died there.
Yeah, because they often know a man marry a man and must get kids. Not only pay the man, but leave a paid woman and not pay the kids. That doesn't give me sense. So we will get the whole of that. And I want to ask PR to put it in record. Because I wanted to say, or I said, but you say no, that the World War Veteran Family Association wants to benefit from this fund. You said no. Was that your submission?
Yes, very clear. If you listen to me, I'll explain.
No.
It is important.
It's very important.
It is very important.
That's what they benefit from there.
The British Embassy, they think we are claiming. Okay.
It's your right to claim.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what they think. It's our right. Even what is prescribed here as one eligible widow. We are challenging that. Who are they to send our parents to war? They die there, okay? And then they sit down and prescribe any beneficiary should be this order. We have a
a lot of things we are. But what I'm saying is, right now, since we came together, most of us are responsible Gambians who are earning our wages. We are not into this to go after money for us to benefit. We have our grandmothers who are sick. They are dying. We have asked for this until almost 8 of our fathers who went to war actually have died. They have not benefited. And we said their wives, these poor widows, are dying every other time. They are still not benefiting. And when we talk, they say, these people, they want money. These people, who are they eligible to get the... We are not saying give us the money. We are saying, okay, in as much as there are still eligible people to what you have prescribed as beneficiaries, even those people are not benefiting. The funds are going to the wrong people, into the wrong hands. It is, and people are building mansions.
That's why
okay.
I'm saying, during your testimony, you made it very clear for us. You have given us a guide as to the person that we should contact to elicit this useful information from them. So we should be collected and calm. Sorry for that.
Well, it's my mannerisms. I understand.
So that the committee also will do the needful. We'll invite all those concerned. After getting the information, we'll invite you back again to look a way forward.
Wonderful. The British government would be a source. The National Human Rights Commission, okay, we have given them a lot of information, and we have also written to them for your information, so they can also be a source that you can, the National Human Rights Commission. Okay. Right.
This has to be something very secure. If they are lost this and this, we felt that only the survival will know. Now my fear is we don't fight for ourselves again. When all the survival windows are done, we are not going to be eligible.
That is
so our fight is going to be survival windows and the family members.
Exactly. That is why we formed this association.
But if only survival windows, we give them pretense that we don't want to benefit. When those people die, we are not going to benefit again. So now let's do it collectively. We fight the widow and the survival.
It only a man prescribed. Honey will famo. That is one thing which has to be followed. But again, because Gael Kamemfo, well, this is what is in our books and this is what we prescribe, so this is it. Much more like Jumale Malti, Kafo control the beneficiaries. Other countries are benefiting. Why not the Gambia?
Okay, I think that will be the end of this meeting, discussion with you and matter. And after then, we will get back to you people and look a way forward on this issue. On that note, we thank you for coming, and we are saying it is indeed an enlightenment session. We know things that affect our grandparents, the veterans. So collectively and concerted efforts will be done to make sure that what is due for them is realized. On that note, we thank you.
So thank you very much. Let's be in touch. You have my number, right? Yes, I have. You keep reminding us.
BMOM is just a copy of our registration status, so that this is also an acknowledgement from the National Center for Art and Culture House. Danaka, the rest we will share with you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Doom ak siti ñoo xam ne ñoom ñoo fi jóge woon dem xeexi World War II fi ñoo wax Boma. Waaw suñ maam yee suñ baay ñun ñooy association boobu noonu.
ok si association bi gis nañ ne tamit ñoo ngeen National Assembly fii with some papers ak some complaints yoo xam ne yéen ko doon run almost 2 to 3 years gis leen foofu dara tey gis ngeen committee bi toog ngeen waxtaan ak committee bi we just want to know some complaints that you bring at the National Assembly.
waaw tey ñun kontaan nañ torop pour mun a meet at National Assembly Select Committee bi on Human Rights kontaan nañ torop yaagoon nañ koo toppa nag wante munuñ koo am wante yàlla def tey la yàlla tudde ne ñu am ko biñ ñëwee nag ñoom itam toog nañ déglu nañ ñu parce que fiñ dooree mooy xam lan moo tax ñu jóg ak lan mooy suñ mébét te ñun itam door nañ ñu won leen ne ñun ñooy ñii mooy ñun ñooy doomi ñoo xam ne ñoom ñoo demoon xeexali Gambia suñ maam yi ñoo demoon xeexi ba ñeena ñi des fa ñeena ñi ñibbisi so ñun ñoo form association bi ñu ne lu tax ñu form association bi ñu won leen ne dañ toog gis ne ñi waroon a njëriñ bi war a ñëw ci association bi moom loolu lañ gisut parce que depuis 1945 jëlee ko 48 ba léegi suñ maam yi ñeena ñi biñ demee ba dee foofu ñeena ñi ñibbisi woon dañ leen promission ne buñ ñëwee dinañ leen toppatoo wante depuis loolu ñu bari dañ ñëw ñii dem ci kaw gi ñii dem yeneen dëkk yi ñu nekk fa ñeneen ñi ñu bàyyi wante tubaab yi luñ leen promission defal luñ leen ko so suñ maam yooyu noonu lañ nekkee ci coono ñi dee ñi ñoom xam nga suñ maam yu jigéen ñi ñoo fi desoon mooy widow si ñooñu gestu wuñ leen so ñeena ñi ñu ngi ci kaw gi ñeena ñi ñu ngi fii so ñun buñ demee ba am time ndeke dafa am xaalis boo xam ne British government bi ñoom ñu ngi koo jox ñooñu pour ñu dimbalee leen ko wante Gambia fii ñoo xam ne ñoom ñoo war a njëriñoo ndimbal boobu noonu ñooñu nekkoon di ci jot ñeena ñi xamuñ ne sax ndimbal mu ngee ñëw xaalis bi bu ñëwee dafa am ñeena ñoo xam ne ñoom ñoo ko dee jël rek seet nu mu leen neexee rek ñu defee ko ñoo xam ne eeloowuñ mbir mi sax ñu nekk di leen ci jox binda ñii seen tur jox ñii ñoo xam ne musu ñoo dem woo seen maam yi musu ñoo dem wala seen baay ñu jox ñooñu noonu ñeneen ñi ñoom ñooñu toogee noonu so lii la woon biñ gisee loolu noonu jamono Covid bi ñu dégg ci radio bi suñ chairman mu dégg ne ñu ngi oote ñoo xam ne seen kilifa yi demoon nañ woo so den ñun itam moom ci la oote ba mu fekk ne ñu ne ko yow xanaa sa kilifa dafa demoon kooku mu ne waaw ñu ne ok ñoom dañ foog ne sax kooku kilifaam deeyoon na mu ne leen suma kilifa ba léegi mu ngi dunda yow nga xalaat koo xam ne dem na woo ba mu ñëw ba depuis 70 years almost kooku mu ngi dunda yéen mi nga xam ne yéen a amee xaalis bi yéen a war a jox ñooñu yéen xamul leen sax kooku
xaalis bi fan la dee jaar ak ñan leen ko dee jox pour mu mun a egga si yéen.
xaalis bi British ñi ñoo wax British Legion ñoom ñoo ko jox ñi ñoo wax Royal Commonwealth Ex-Service League li British yi la ñooñu lañ wax ne nañ manage grant bii nii du Gambia rek de pour yeneen réew yi yëpp Commonwealth léegi xaalis boobu bu ñëwee secretary Gambia Legion ki ñoo wax Pafal ak benn jigéeni tubaab boo xam ne moom mu ngi doon liggéey ci British Embassy bi British yi ñoom itam kooku la taana léegi ñu ne moom ak Pafal mi nga xam ne moom mooy secretary Gambia Legion gaañi liggéey ñu seet naka la ñi ñu war a jox xaalis bi soo ñooñu nag xamuñ ñan ñoo demoon parce que Pafal ci boppam baayam demutoon maamam demutoon moom xamut sax ñan la tubaab bi tam daf fi liggéey rek ci British Embassy bi wante moom it xamut Gambia léegi ñoom amuñ ñeneen xam nga parce que suñ paa yi nekk Gambia Legion ñoom jànguñ soo looloo ta gaay taana Pafal pour mu nekk di leen bindal léegi moom paa ak tubaab jigéeni tubaab boobu ñoom ñoo continuer di jël xaalis bi di ko pisir pasar kenn xamut fan la ñoo dugga di ko jox ñu leen neex di ko defee noonu ba at yii yëpp balaa moom nag amoon na ñeneen ñu fa nekkoon comme colonel Sam Silla ak ñoom kii ni Njaay Max Njaay ak ñeneen am na ci ñoo xam ne sax ñu ngi doon jëriñ nit ñi ñooñu ñu ngi doon jël xaalis bi li doon ñëw di ci dimbale paa yi wante depuis bi affaire bi ñëwee surtout delsee ci loxo Paa Faal ak jigéeni tubaab bi ci la mbir mi yëpp li fi ñun nag buñ foomee ñu ne léegi dañ bugg a xam fa ana buy wone suñ maam yi ñan ñoo demoon ak ñan ñoo fa dee ak ñan ñoo fa des ak ñan ñoo ñibbisi xam nga loolu réew bu nekk am na ko wante Gambia ñun nanguwuñ ñu lifin boobu ñu ne xanaa loolu amut gis nga ñu dem ci army bi ñu dem ci Ministry of Defence ñu binda président binda National Human Rights Commission dem place yépp ñu ne dimbale leen ñu ci liste yan Gambian ñoo demoon World War II ak ñaataa fa dee ak ñaataa ñibbisi ñi ñibbisi fan lañ nekka ndax am na ñu des dégg nga ak buñ desee ana ndimbal buy ñëw ndimbal bi ndax ñoom ñu ngi koo njëriñoo parce que ñun gis nañ ne suñ baay yi ak suñ maam yi ñoo demoon bu njëriñ bi doon ñëw dinañ ko xam ñeena ci ñun ñoo nekk di yore suñ baay yooyu noonu ak suñ yaay yi nga xam ne suñ baay yi dee nañ ñoom ñoo des ñun ñoo nekk di leen dundal buñ jotoon ci ndimbal boobu noonu ni kon ñun itam dinañu dimbale wante ñoom ñu jàppane ñii dañ dégg mbiri xaalis rek dégg nga ñu jóg te ñoom demuñ woon woo sax ñoom ñu jóg ñu foog ne xaalis boobu gars yi nañ ko laajte ñu jox leen ko ñun du loolu moo tax ñu jóg although suñ right la bu dee ne baay dee na jabar dee na te ndimbal mu ngi waroon a lifin lu tax ba doom ak seet yi waruñ see jëriñoo wante ñun sax du loolu foofu la ñoo waxee de dañ ne ñële nañ jotagum ñoom seen njëriñ léegi paa yëpp dee nañ nag ñi demoon woo paa Ibu Jangha moo nekkoon laas benn at ci gannaaw kooku dee na léegi ñun ci liñ jot a xam ñooñu ñëpp raaf nañ ñan ñoo des mooy seen jabar yoo xam ne ñenn ñi tam màgget nañ suñ maam yu jigéen ñi ñu ngi tëdda amuñ garab amuñ ku leen toppatoo te nga dem Sénégal nga dem Ghana ñooñu noonu ñëpp seen nit ñi ñu ngi tëdda ñu ngi leen a jàppale ñenn ñi sax dañ am citizenship parce que rek seen doom yi dañ am right pour nekk citizen yi France Sénégal am nañ loolu Ghana ñu ngi organise seen gaa yaa ngee benefit Kenya sax maaw bi jógoon nañ yóbbu British government court gaa yi wiin seen nguur gi taxawoo leen gaa yi wiin ñooñu ñëpp ñu compensate leen wante ñun Gambia moom ñeenaa nekk di pisir pasar xaalis bi ba pare gisuñ benn njëriñ te ñi demoon ñeena ñu ngi base ñeena ñu ngi wulli ñi lee nga sandu ñi lee nga fooñi ñi lee nga ñoomi ñi lee nga balangaar wante gaay musu ñoo njëriñoo ndimbal boo xam ne mu ngi jóge ci British te 1.8 million pounds 1.8 million du dalasi de pounds grant boo xam ne loolu ak leneen loolu yëpp tasaare nañ ko du pour Gambia rek de wante tasaare nañ ko ñoo xam ne ñoom ñooy World War II veterans waaw.
léegi association bi taxaw ngeen taxawaay bu rafet waaye est-ce que da ngeen dee dem si dëkk yi tamit ñi nga xam ne seen maam yi wala seen papa yi ñoo dem si World War bii nii di waxtaan ak gaay mbir mi naka leen demee wala xaalis bi daf dee ñëw wala dañ si dee jot wala duñ si dee jot.
waaw association bi ñun WhatsApp lañ dee lifin wante nag dañ register mboolem koo xam ne sa maam wala sa papa demoon na dañ ne nga bokk si association te booy bokk nag du ne ku nekk rek da ngaa ne man suma maam demoon na nga ñëw ñu bindala de déedéet ñii loolu moo leen leerut da ngaa joxe firnde yi da boo amee sa nataali papa wala i médaille yoo xam ne mu ngi lifi noonu wala nga am sarnde kaatam membership kaati Gambia Legion moo leena luy wone firndeel ne waaw sa maam demoon na ñun ñooñu lañ register soo ñun suñ association members yi ñu ci ëpp ñi ñëpp xam nga nit ki doo am 100% ci dara wante almost 80 to 90% bi ñëpp ñooñu ñun confirm nañ ne seen maam yi seen baay yi demoon nañ dégg nga soo ñooñu ñoo nekk members te suñ members yi dem nañ ba almost 500 te fii ba Basse ba Wulli ba Sandu ba ñoomi fu mu ne nii ñëpp Gambian lañ te ñu ngi nekk members yi association bi.
su nekkee ne comité bi dem neen toog neen waxtaan ñu gis ne gaay amun benn evidence pour jël another step for the process yéen ban taxawaa ngeen a jëlaat.
xawma lu tax ba gaay duñu am evidence parce que ñun am nañ evidence yu bëri yoo xam ne
somit ngeen ko wala jox ngeen ko wala joxaangu leen ko.
si wan nañ ko bi ñoo ñëw nii wante comme que meeting bi dafa jàmpa ba pare léegi dañ d'accord ne yooyu ñu fexe ñu lifin ko ñu yónnee leen ko so ñoo loolu dinañ jox comité bi suñ firnde yépp suñ seede yépp dinañ leen ko jox waaw.
lan mooy sa advice si comité bi nga xam ne mooy National Assembly mooy ñi nga xam ne ñu war a taxawal lépp loo xam ne jaaxal na doomi réew yi because loolu moo tax ñu votal leen.
Pour waaw suma advice mooy
pour nga gis ne gars yi taxaw si mbir bi bu baax ndax yéen tam loo leen bëgg ngeen mun koo am.
suma advice mooy lii mbiri Gambia yépp la lii mbiri Gambia la lii du pour ñun rek de yeneen réew yi Ghana Sénégal ak yeneen réew yi ak even ñoom tubaab yi seen gaa yi demoon wool wootu wool woo ñooñu ñëpp dañ leen jàppale dégg nga because dañ leen war a compensate bon ñun Gambia lii du mbiri ñun wool wootu association bi rek de lii nguuri Gambia ci boppam daf ci war a jóg parce que nguuri Sénégal dañ ci jóg nguuri Ghana dañ ci jóg nguuri Kenya dañ ci jóg bon nguuri Gambia waxuma rek nguur gi muy from président Adama Barrow moom sax maamam demoon na mu deefa moom si boppam doomi World War II vétéran la dégg nga from président bi ak ñu bëri bon muy ministre yi muy président bi surtout National Assembly bi ñoom ñoo war a gën a jóg nag ñu jóg te xam ne am nañ yaakaar ne dinañ jóg léegi ñu jóg ñu xeex ko National Human Rights Commission comme que ñu ne ñoom pour mbiri human right la bii benn gënuta nekk human right abuse bu am yeneen réew yi ñu ngi laaj for reparation bon World War II veterans yi ñooñu dañ war a seet pour reparation xam nga ñu ngi wax reparation pour naka lañ koo waxee TRRC victimes yi World War II veterans yi victime lañ wante du Gambia government de tubaab yi British yi ñoom ñoo leen victimize ñeneen ñi dañ leen forcer comme niñ doon jàppee fii slave trade jaam yi chief yi lañ use ak alkaali yi ñu dem ñu jàppaleen ñeneen ñi ñu forcer leen ñeneen ñi nag ñoom ñoo dem ñu joxe seen bopp parce que dañ leen dikk ne yéen boo leen demee boo leen ñëwee lu nekk da ngeen koo am àdduna dañ leen a fay da ngeen a nekk citizen da ngeen a am lu nekk ñooñu ñu dem ñeneen ñi ñu forcer leen bon nag na Gambia xam ne lii du mbiri World War II Veteran Association rek de na Gambia yëpp jóg jëlee ko ñu nekk ci nguur gi ba National Assembly ñu xeex lii ndax ñeneen ñi nekk ci yeneen réew comme Sénégal Ghana ak yeneen réew li ñoo am ñun Gambia ñun itam ñu am ko ñun lii lañ bàyyee Gambian yi yëpp nañ leen jóg lii ci liñ bokka la.
ok jërëjëf thank you very much. asalaamaaleykum.
waaleykum salaam.
tur bi na.
man Aji Kumba Bari.
Aji Kumba Bari yow tam si association bi nga nekk.
waa ci association bi laa bokk man maa nekk seen mobiliser bi.
ok yow lu sa métit.
lii suma métit mooy fii suñ PRO bi daanele man tam foofu la yëkkati waat because mu ngi doon wax ne dañ force ñeneen ñi yóbbu leen di leen promise yeneen promise yi waaye promise yooyu noonu afterwards promise yooyu sax ñëwoon pour fulfill ko because promise yooyu noonu di nga gis ne bañ demee ñoom ñu dem def jihaad boobu noonu ba ñu si biir Gambia bi xaalis biñ leen war a joxuñ leen ko dañu xaalis bi léegi fi mu nekk nii liñ ko def mooy dañ ko sampee Gambia High School bi nga gis nii biñ opposite nii ñu ne dinañ ko sampee school bi ba pare beneen xaalis bi dinañ ko sampee lopitaan dangaa xelaat ku dem rey boppam fële ñeneen ñi dee ñeneen ñi ñibsi ñeneen ñaa ngi laago ñeneen ñi dañ leen fetel yoo xam ne lifin bi ba tey ñeneen ñi afterward sax loolu moo leen rey yow instead of ñu jox la xaalis boobu noonu joxuñ la xaalis boobu noonu ñu jël xaalis boobu ne dañ koo sampee lopitaan bi pare dañ koo sampee school xam nga ne loolu noonu dafa métti at the end of the day school boobu noonu ñoom seen doom yi foofu lañ nekk di jàngee te di dañoo fay ñu delluwaat ñoom bañ feebaree ñoom ñëpp dem nañ ci lopitaan bi nga xam ne seen xaalis la te lopitaan boobu noonu tamit dañoo fay foofu noonu xaalis xam nga ne loolu moom dafa métti lii moo ñu tax a jóg nag ñu ni tamit pour gis ne li tax bañ def loolu noonu suñ parents yi ba pare suñ parents yi tamit bénéfituñ léegi seen jabar yi ñoom ak seen jabar yi lañ wax ne dañ leen di fay waaye di nga gis ne tricotta bi yëpp bénéfituñ ci xaalis bi wiido si tamit mun naa laa wax ne boobu moom daanaka ñi ci benefit duñ passé ñetta o ñeneenti nit because widows yu bari ñu ngi baka fi ñeneen ñaa ngi ñun leen am waaye su xaalis bi ñëwee dañoo dégg ne rek fay nañ Paate Sira ak Sara ba pare widows yi nga xam ne ñoom la seen jëkkër dem ñooñu ñu ngi fii nii ñooñu fayuñ leen so ñu ni tamit nag suñ association bi lii mu ñu tax a jóg pour wane ne suñ yaay yi suñ papa yi ak suñ maam yi ak suñ oncle yi ñoom ñoo demoon ñale ñëpp si dañ bëgg nag pour ñu ñoo support National Assembly bi nañ ñu support ba pare ñu ngi ut support ci government bi tamit because tey yow maybe yow mi ma interview ni sax maybe yow sax sa maam demoon na waaye fan la ko voice out sa papa xamul ne sa maam dem na because dañ leen jël domp leen ci lifin bi ñëwee ñi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo muus tuuti ndig lu nekk dafa am muusaange ñi muusoon tuuti ñoom lañ jël def leen field force time boobu noonu field force moo amoon ñooñu lañ yóbbu woon Bakau ak yooyu noonu ñeneen ñu def leen ci sécurité si waaye ñeneen ñi nga xam ne ñoom awiyawuñ bu baax ñooñu yëpp dañ leen domp delloo wàll leen baag fañ leen jëlee woon fàtte leen foofu noonu so ñun lii daal lañ nekk di fight te def ñu naxari te dañ bëgg ku nekk njàppa ci combat bi du government bi du National Assembly because dëkk yëpp nii lañ fight bi ku nekk nga xam fi nga féetoo xam sa right di wax wiil bi su fekkee ne dafa amoon kay ni kon ñoom ñoo doon benefit waxtaan bi dafa gàtta waaye ni kon dafa waroon a gudda ñoom mi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo demoon su fekkee ne ñoom benefitun ñun mi nga xam ne ñun ñooy doom yi ak seti fa ñoo amee wiil ka dem rey boppam kooku su benefitun yow set bi aw doom bi yow fan ngaa amee wiil ñi lifin yëpp ñi nga xam ne ñoom de benefit nañ tey Sénégal mi ñu gën a jegi sax ñoom benefit nañ ak ñeneen ndax ñooñu am nañ wiil ñooñu amuy wiil di because yow ki moom soo amut wiil keneen du mun a am wiil soo nag dañ bëgg a government bi taxaw si lii National Assembly taxaw si ku nekk daal nga jàpp ci combat bi te nga xam ne lii combat Gambia la lii du combat World War II family members di sant ñëpp di gërëm ñëpp jaalin jëf
baɗigol doron ko nga fale ñamen mbale National Assembly le bi nak subcommittee wolle meetingol soto inin bi subcommittee li tolle meeting soto inin committee men yalon ko men yale tolle mama tata wolwo kelola inata bar men faje dun diam la jamal ye men faje kabola piaro la foka jina ila musu nyaton kola e ko kabritol famal wolle mamal tata je e man na faje wol man na faje hani fan tubabul ya fola nun ko e be wol jola la anila musolu bari hani sayin e man fenje annu to lankene ma yatalo ko e ko do nyi ka na fel bar ko do nyi kata damen to men yalon fa e mamal man kelo wol wo kelo wala boma kelo la wolle ke na fala bari tol men famal wolle mamal tata je etol bu ka feñ o yatinal dro association lo kabri association lo fengo fi yalon ko ita fama wolle mama tata nyin kelo tol e bebe wo teman tol o yatinna e be buladinga ko no ma yesim falta kana National Assembly inin committee nyin si pour ka ko kacha ise kisi ke ko nyinna munatina ko do nyimbo ka futte tol ma katuniya jibi o jama babe je sante ifatale dol bi je ila musolu bi je andu ke jo ko do men e to laka jaralol ke kelo parensol jar jamal dun nak inati la complaino di wote man to son farambe sarota la le jenna ba fala le ko ala baraka baka fo wati